I don't know I don't know where things go in the cloud for the most part.
Okay, so we're
Uh,
recording
okay.
and just want to say welcome to anybody who is watching our August wrap up. Thank you, Suey, for participating in this with me and co-hosting this event. I'm really,
Hey,
really
everyone.
happy that we did this.
Yes, me too. It's been so fun planning things and posting things and thinking about things. I've had a great time. It's been
Yeah.
fun.
And you've posted some really amazing videos that I hope everybody has watched by now. But I'm still owing you a response video on a conversation about dark YA that I won't get to right now, but I've already been working on what my thoughts
Oh,
are
good.
about dark
Cool.
YA. So I hope to get that out as soon as I get some time to
Yeah,
post.
that video was interesting because I was trying to make a point, but I don't know if I did very well with it. So yeah, if people haven't seen that, go watch it and tell me what you think if you understand what I was trying to even say. I don't know.
In
I mean, there's dark
editing,
YA and light YA, but I always gravitate toward the light, happy, fluffy things, and I just was wanting to say that that's okay, that it's okay. Light and happy stories are okay. But I don't know if I got that point across.
I think you did. And in editing, I'll link it like somewhere in the cards.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that was a really interesting conversation, and um, I'll contribute to it soon.
Awesome. I will look forward to that.
So let's talk about, like I have these like weekly wrap ups. I haven't done one in August because it's been August focused, and I've been really struggling for time this month. But um, typically, when I'm not hosting an event and I'm just in my regular day-to-day reading life, I
Uh-huh.
try to do a weekly wrap up. And I kind of started out with like highs and lows. So I just thought maybe we could talk about like what's a high that we've experienced during August and what's been a low of August. I'll let you go first.
Me go first. A high. I think the high is just getting out there and in the community where both of us are just trying to promote something we love, and the high is just being brave enough to do that. Does that make sense? Like for me, that's how it is anyway. Like you think that the thing that you want to talk about or be passionate about is, maybe something that not everyone wants to, but so the fact that we just did it, and then you did it last year, but the fact that we decided to kind of make it bigger and better this year, I guess, and kind of push it a little more, I feel like that is the high, just doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like just going for it and trying to promote something we love and getting excited about it. It was so fun at the beginning, making our pile of possibilities and imagining reading all of the the things in that pile.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. I just love that so much. So that would be my high, I guess. And then the low is probably not managing to read all those things. And life gets in the way. And I added another book in my monthly reading because I needed to read it before September hit. And it was a big book. So I counted it for Big Book Summer. So, but it was a big book. It took me a while to read it. So I fit that in between my YAs. And so I feel like, I don't know, that I could have read more, but I just couldn't get it fit at all in. There's still a few days at the time of this recording. There's still a few days, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to fit any more in either. So I just want to read all the things. I just want to read all the things. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, so thank
I
you
don't
for
know.
mentioning that. So at the time of this recording, for those friends who are watching this wrap up, um, it is the 26th of August. So we have 5 days left in the month, and I still have books I'm gonna try to squeeze in
Yeah,
in
I
the
hope,
next 5 days.
hopefully I will too. We'll talk about that in a minute. I've been
Yeah.
struggling. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah. Anyway, hopefully we can fit some more in, or at least one more in.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, well, yeah, we'll get to that. So, I'll go with my high then, my highs and lows.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I think I have two highs. I can't like
Okay.
separate these. So one high is the community, the sense of community. So I agree with you. Like that's like last year I felt kind of like like shy, not embarrassed, but like shy about like, oh, I'm reading young adults and I'm like just reading these young adult books and really dedicating my time to this category of books that I love. And I didn't think that there was anybody out there that would be interested, but I kind of very like shyly said, if you're interested, here's a bingo card or, like
Uh-huh.
just trying to like see who else is into this kind of thing. And I've been so like excited and like on a high about like one connecting with you and actually like being able to have a co-host to like help make this a thing,
Right.
that it's
It
not just
helps, doesn't
like
it? Just
yes.
having two people talk about it. Yeah.
Yes, and you've been such a great like co-host and friend and like like we've been communicating via text and email and like just having that somebody to like bounce ideas off of and like get excited together and then like share our excitement with the booktube community. And then
Hmm.
on the other end, on the like receiving end, having like our friends who supported us, like Alan at the channel. Alan made a book club, and Crystal at Fiber Artsy, and Brian at Bookish, and Jackie, the wordsmith. I don't remember Jackie's channel, but I'll link the channels.
Reading wordsmith,
Reading Wordsmith, I think. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. And
I'll link her channel. The
the
Book
book buds who
Buds.
did the tag, and Dan who did the tag.
Dan, yes. So
Who else have I heard shouted out? There's probably some more
I think there's
people
some
shouting it
more.
out.
But every time
Yeah.
that someone has mentioned us, like in their tag videos or their TBRs or their wrap-ups, like, like it's just been so like exciting. Like I'm like, oh, like
Oh,
there's
I know who else
there are
has been
people out
reading a
there
YA.
too.
It's Sue Jackson.
Oh
Sue Jackson
yes,
has mentioned it. Yeah.
she read
That's the one
Sight.
I was feeling like,
I was so
yes, yes,
excited for Sue to read Scythe because that's been on my TBR. So thank you, Sue, for
yes.
promoting that book.
It's such a great book and series. Oh my gosh. The whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like I found like a community of people who have been excited and like wanting to like support this reading event, and that's been really like nourishing to my little reader soul.
Our little corner,
Yeah.
our little small corner.
Our book buds,
Yeah.
our
Yep.
friends. So I'm so grateful to the community for just the welcoming of the event, the participation that we've received, and the new friends we've made. Like I feel like I've made some new friends because of this event, and that's been a high. The second high I want to mention is that I've discovered a book that I love so
Hmm.
much, and like a book that I was re going into like not expecting much from. Like I was just kind of like, oh, just gonna read this book for this poker hand, and then to be blown away by it. And I love the feeling when a book does that. So
It's
it happened
awesome.
to me with a YA book, and I'm so excited to talk about it. And I'll talk about it in a little bit, but
Okay.
and then a low has been not regarding um books or reading, but more like life. Like I haven't had time this month. Things have been really crazy in my work life, and I haven't
Hmm.
been able to do as much as I wanted to do, like as much posting and
Yeah.
being on BookTube. So that's been a low, kind of like a bummer, and that I'm reading all these books, but I've been slow to be able to like get on BookTube to talk about what I'm reading. So um,
Well,
I'm
you can catch up and do it
I'm hoping Labor Day
into
weekend.
September. Yeah.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend is going to be my catch-up weekend, and I'll be able to hopefully get some stuff out there a little late in regards to August, but
That's all right.
yeah.
It works. Yeah,
So
life. It's too bad it doesn't cooperate with our plans sometimes, right?
I know. And like another really cool thing that I think we should celebrate that we've accomplished is I did my first live. Like,
Yes.
that's so
And
cool.
you
I don't
did
know.
great.
That was really fun. It was it's kind of scary. I was really nervous.
I know, it's scary. I've only done a few of them, and I usually do it with Tori because when Tori's with me, it's not scary. It's not as bad. But after you did your little reading sprint live, I was like, that didn't seem too bad. Maybe I can start doing those, like, randomly now and then. Maybe I can do that. We could egg each other on our reading sprints and keep it up.
Yeah.
Everybody says that's where it's at, is doing lives. So
Well, I'll definitely join yours when you just let me
when I do
know.
something. Okay.
So I can let me know ahead of time so I can make sure that I block that
Right.
time.
You got to schedule it. I know. Anyway, that was fun. I'm glad it worked out. I was having a little crazy day that day, but I managed to make it happen. So
Yeah, thanks for
anyway, it
being on.
was fun.
So, are you ready to talk about what we've read and our poker
Sure.
hands? Like, what have
Sure.
we? Okay,
How do you
so,
want to do it?
well, just to kind of recap, if you're watching this video and this is like your first video that you watch and you have no idea what we're talking about with poker hands, what Suey and I did is we assigned like prompts to a deck of cards. Let me see. Where's my deck?
I have my teeny cute little deck here.
Oh, you have one. Okay. Here, let me pull mine out. I recently got the Alice in Wonderland
Teeny
deck.
little decks.
I can't
Uh,
here. So
uh,
here's my
you got a normal size. I got
Oh, you got a
little
little
baby.
tiny.
It's a little baby size.
I love it.
I can't remember where that came from, but that's what I found.
So in our you can like go back. I'll try to link a video just so that if you are curious, you want to know what we're talking about. We assigned um different prompts to the different numbers. And so we'll talk about what our poker hands were. So the poker hands, you could have either a flush or straight or like a full house, two of a kind, three of a kind, pairs. And the minimum participation would be a high card. So you just read one book that's a high card and it's whatever you want it to be. So if you participated, you could have read one book or you could have read five or like have multiple poker hands going. So, uh, like multiple rounds of poker, I guess, that
Right.
play that you would do. So, Sui, what did you what did you read? What poker
So
hand?
I ended up with only four books, so I didn't get a full hand. And this is what my hand looks like, if you can see it,
Ooh.
which looks really bad to me. Like it's not a very great hand, but I kind of went about it differently in that I didn't like look at what hand I wanted. I just read books and then picked a card to see what I would end up with. So I feel like this is like, like if you were playing and you just got dealt a hand, this is what, random, very random. I don't know. Does that come up to anything? I got three hearts. Is three hearts something? I'm not a poker player, so I don't even know. Is
Yeah,
three
so
hearts
you got three of a kind
three hearts? And then I have two queens.
and then you have a pair of queens. And then you also have
Yes.
a high card if you
The
end up
ace.
doing, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you do the three of a kind,
Huh?
and then you have
These
a high
guys.
card, you have the queen.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean,
Like two separates.
mhm.
So I guess, it's something. So if you've been paying attention, if you've been following along with us, then you'll know that the queens are books that were written by a woman author or have a woman, female protagonist, correct? Am I right
Yes,
there?
you're right.
Yes. And I think I think, did all of them end up being women authors? So I ended up, using the queen for two of them. And then the hearts, which I've got three of, are contemporary romance. Am I right? Or
Yes.
contemporary.
Uh-huh.
And the club is fantasy. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so then, let's see. And the ace was for mental health awareness,
or disability rep.
representation, yes. And then the five was,
That
what was the
was
five?
the five was a short, a novella or
A
short
novella,
story.
right.
Yeah.
I read the novella. Okay. So anyway, that's those are the books I read. So, and that's how I ended up with this hand. Do you want me to tell you about the books yet, or do you want to show us what you ended up with first? How do you want to do this?
Okay. I'll show you my hand then. And I'm still working it out. So I went for a royal flush, but it's still in process. So the royal flush is the five high cards that
In
are
order, right?
in
Yeah,
order of
in
the
order,
same
yeah.
suit.
Right.
So I read a disability rep. I actually read two disability reps.
So did I actually.
So I possibly could have like two of these and I could have like a high card. One of them could be a high card, or I could keep reading and make it into another thing. But yeah, so I have two Ace of Hearts, and then I have read two King of Hearts,
Wow.
and I read this one, the Queen of Hearts was I read a Queen of Hearts. I'm trying to remember the book, but I read a Queen of Hearts.
Okay.
I'm reading two of these right now. Like, well, no, I'm reading one of these right now, a graphic novel, and then I'm also reading a Jack of Spades. Spades was a mystery one,
Okay.
so I think I'm reading a Jack of Spades. That's in process, and then I have this in process still, and this was my the 10 was a highly recommended book or a blurb or a 10-star or 5-star rating. So I'm still working on this one to complete my royal flush.
Awesome. That's so awesome.
So tell me about your books.
Oh, so the books. So I read, I read that this was the graphic, not, I mean the novella, which I don't have to show because it was a borrowed book and I already gave it back. But it was You, Me, and Comic-Con, about 80 pages. It's by Teresa Richards, which is an author I met at the writers' conference I went to in May. And she gave the book to my friend. So that's where that all came from. And it was just a cute little book about a skater girl who ends up making friends with kids that were going to Comic-Con in New York City. And um, she kind of changes her idea and her thinking about, what's cool and what's nerdy. And that it's okay to like the nerdy things, which I loved that message. I mean, there's more to it than that. And there was quite a good message in such a short little book. But of course, it was just cute and fun and easy. And so that was my five of hearts for the novella and the contemporary. Then I read another book that was on my Kindle called Gold Winning, and it was by an independent author that I used to know back in the day. I haven't kept in touch with her, but somebody I knew years ago and found out that she had self-published this novel, and it's a sports romance with the girl being a rhythmic gymnast for the Olympics and the boy being a swimmer for the Olympics. And so it takes place in two parts. The first part is in Paris at the Olympics, and then there's a 4 year gap until they go to the LA Olympics. And that one had some mental health issues because a bad thing happened. So they kind of have trauma they have to work through, major anxiety. Um, but I used, let's see, yes, so I did use my ace for that one. Contemporary and the role and the mental health stuff. So, and it was really good. It was really good. Had swoony moments and intense moments, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So those were the first two. Then do you want me to keep going?
Sure.
Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Then I read, this is my fantasy, my Queen of Clubs, Tahereh Mafi. This one has 3 points of view, so I don't know if I could count it as a protagonist. But there's a girl
Yeah.
protagonist, but there's the two guys that we get their points of view too. But anyway, this is the third book in the This Woven Kingdom trilogy, and I just am loving this series so much.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
So I am about to start the Shatter Me series. What
Uh-huh.
is different between the two series? For someone that, like me, is just getting into Tahereh Mafi.
The Shatter Me series is sort of an apocalyptic, dystopian uh, setting, whereas this is a fantasy kingdom, prince and princesses, magic setting. Although in Shatter Me, there are like kind of superpowers. Um, so, oh my gosh, that is an intense series too. She's so good. Have you not read much anything by her yet? Is
No,
this
I just got the first Shatter Me
Oh,
book
she's
in
so
on
good.
Kindle.
Oh, I'm so excited for you to read that. Um, and I know she is doing a companion series to Shatter Me, and I follow her on Instagram, and she was explaining that it's kind of the same world but completely different. So I think I need to pick those up and start reading some more in that world too. But this is based on a Persian fairy tale. So and it has a lot of Cinderella vibes to me. Um, and this is going to have 5 books, she just said on her Instagram. I thought it was 4, but there's 5, I think. So the fourth one, this is the third, like I said, the fourth one comes out like at the beginning of next year, I think. So a little while still, but anyway, so good. And then the fourth one I read was this one, which was just a random book I picked up at a used bookstore, and I didn't really know anything about it. The Unlikely Hero of Room 13B. And this one is all about mental health issues. The 13B is a group therapy room where they're meeting. And our boy in here, who I absolutely fell in love with, the sweetest boy ever, he is struggling with OCD along with some other things, but OCD is his biggest issue. And so it talks about his struggle and some of the struggles of the other kids and the stuff in his life that makes him crazy, basically. And it's so sweet though, and so cute, and it takes care of everything in just a really lighthearted way. It discusses things in a lighthearted way, and I absolutely loved it. So I used, so I didn't use my ace again. I used, what did I do? I think I just did Queen of Hearts for this one. So yeah, those are the 4 that I got to. Now I was going to tell you my struggle. So I've been starting. I mean, like I haven't finished a book in the whole last week, I don't think. Um, but 'cause I keep starting and stopping. So I started this one, which I found when I went downstairs on my shelf and was looking for award winners. I found this one. I'm like, I don't think I've ever read that.
Hmm.
And it won both the Prince
Haven't
Award and the Newbery Award.
I
I
never
mean, not
heard of that
award, the
one.
honors.
The honor.
Lizzie Bright and the Buckminster Boy. It's pretty oldish. When was it published? 2004. So I was like, oh, that's short and fast and easy. So I started it and then I was like, oh, I'm not in the mood. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to start this one.
Ooh, I've seen that all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I got it from the library. I put it on hold. It came available and I started reading it and then I'm just like, oh man, I'm just not feeling this. So I put it down. I'm like probably going to take it back to the library. I don't know, but what page am I at? 35. How many pages do you guys usually give things before you give up on them? It's like an alternate reality, um, fantasy. There's magic, but it feels like World War II times. So that's it. That's kind of an intriguing premise, but they just started talking about all these gods, I guess, that rule the world. And I'm like, I don't feel like this right now. I guess I'm like, I keep leaning towards the contemporary stuff.
Yeah. I hear you.
So, and then all my other pile of possibilities, I just never got to them. I mean, I looked at them every time I was ready to choose a new book, and I was like, what do I feel like? And some of them are just so huge that they were just too daunting. So, I still want to get to them really soon, though. Anyway, that's my little wrap up. Really exciting, isn't it?
You read
Really random
some,
books no one's heard of, just like you were saying about some of
yeah, you
yours,
read
right?
some really like I
Except
think underhyped books, like books that are
except this one.
except for that one, right? Or
Yeah,
the
people have
Divine
heard of that one, I'm
Rivals.
pretty sure.
The Divine Rivals I've seen like on like
Yeah, it's popular. It's
front
big time.
tables at bookstores. Like,
Yes.
mhm.
I don't know. I need to try it sometime, but I don't think it's going to be right now. So tell us about what you read.
Okay, so I was just thinking, uh, I'm gonna run over and get my bag because a really cool thing that happened this weekend. It was my friend's birthday and she's a big reader. I don't have a lot of like in real life readerly friends, but she's one of my really good reader friends. And w- what we did for her birthday, what she wanted to do was go have a picnic and like just read. She and I did an event, did a little road trip to the beach a couple of years ago, and we sat by the beach and we read. So we went to like a
So
forest,
fun.
and we our intention was to be in this forest and just sit and read and like share snacks. But it was in the morning because I live in South Texas and the heat is terrible. Like it's
Yeah.
easily been triple digits most days. Other
Yeah.
when it's not triple digits, it's like 98, 99.
Hmm.
Um, and so we went as early as we could in the morning, and the mosquitoes were like terrible. They were biting. Like we sat down for like maybe 5 minutes.
Oh my
We were like,
gosh.
we're getting eaten up.
You're
And
like, never mind.
she was like, how about we just go to a coffee shop and read? So
Yeah.
we ended up doing that, but I left my book bag by the
Okay.
station. So let me grab it. Okay. See, I was prepared for the rain. I had my poncho in my bag.
But not the mosquitoes necessarily, huh?
I didn't take any mosquito spray, but I had a poncho and I had here I had my Alice in Wonderland deck of cards
Oh, nice.
just so
Those look
that I
awesome.
could look at my poker hands.
Yeah.
And I had my Kindle and like a stack of books. So, okay. So I'll go through this hand first. So the Royal Flush. Um I read two Ace of Hearts. The first Ace of Heart that I read was Judy Blume's Deenie. And that is a story about Deenie who gets diagnosed with scoliosis.
Hmm.
And do you remember, Suey, when they would do the scoliosis test? Like, I don't know if they still do that in schools, but at
Yeah.
her middle school, middle school or high school, she gets diagnosed with the coach sends her to be referred to a specialist, and she gets diagnosed with scoliosis, and she's trying to be a model, like, well, she wants to be a cheerleader. Her mom wants her to be a model, and then she gets diagnosed with scoliosis and she has to wear a brace,
Mm.
and she is really struggling with body image and with having to wear a brace um for the scoliosis. And so I think Judy Blume did a really good job at talking about like what it means for somebody who has this kind of like ableist perspective, right? And they see themselves as like their dreams or what they want to do is challenged by a disability or a diagnosis that could potentially be disabling in some way. And so it was really interesting because in such a short like novel, she really explored a lot of like angst and how difficult it was for Deenie and her parents to cope with the diagnosis of scoliosis. So that was one. And then the second disability rep that I read was this one. It's Breathe and Count Back from 10 by Natalia Sylvester. And this is about Veronica, and she lives in Florida with her immigrant parents, and she has a diagnosis of hip dysplasia, and she wants to be a mermaid. And I'll just leave it at that for now. So that was the two Ace of Hearts that I read. Um, and then the King of Hearts, I read Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez. This was for the Books and Bocadillos Book Club for August, and it's a Prince Award winner. And it's about a young girl who is an orphan, and it's based on true events of the 1930s. There's a school fire, and it's Jim Crow, there's racial segregation, discrimination, and she falls in love with a boy who is black, and that is forbidden. She's colored, and so she's not allowed to have a relationship with a black boy, and the racial issues of the 1930s, the discrimination, the racism, and it's a banned book because of the themes. They're really, I mean, there's a school fire, and so it's a tragic event, and there's death
Mhm.
of children due to that event. And so the themes are very traumatic, and it does explore first love and relationships. So there's talk about sex and consensual sex, and so I think just all of those things. It's written in a way that is very I think it's very authentic, with such an authenticity. And I've watched the author interviews, and she's talked about it in terms of like why her book is being banned, but she's saying like for language, but the language is of the time, and it's how people would speak.
Mm.
So she says like these passages that are being read in school board meetings, and the reasons why parents are asking it for it to be banned, it's language that is authentic to the time and to the lives of the people um, represented in the book. So that's the King of Hearts. And then I reread, and I just finished it today. I reread Ibi Zoboi's Punching the Air, and that's about I think his name is Amal, and Amal means hope in Arabic. And he's a boy who gets sent to prison for a fight. So he like he says, he punches the air, he throws the first punch, and he gets convicted of assault and gets sent to prison. And it explores the systemic racism, the school to prison pipeline in the United States. And so it's a King of Hearts because it's about race and um, racism, and that whole the structure, the structure of racism in the United States. So um, that's why it's the king was for like anything that was like government, politics, culture, race, caste, class. So that's why
Right.
I picked those two for those. So that's this one. And then I did read something light. I needed something light
Awesome.
because I read so
I
many heavy
was
books.
just going to say that one sounded heavy and intense.
Um, well, so Punching the Air is written in verse. So
Oh,
I think because it's written in verse, it's very poetic, and it feels like it
yeah.
flows, there's a rhythm to it, and it's nice. I
Uh-huh.
listened to the audiobook because really beautifully narrated. And you can
That's
really,
awesome.
I think with poetry, it's always nice to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
So if anybody is a fan of like Elizabeth Acevedo or Ibi Zoboi, I mean, Ibi Zoboi is pretty prolific, and I think this is just, she's one of my favorites. She's a really great poet and writer. And um, so anyway, my light one was The Summer I Turned Pretty
Oh,
by Jeannie
yay.
Han. So this is the Queen of Hearts, and I have the next book, um, but I don't know that I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna see if I can read it before the end of the month. But that was my Queen of Hearts.
Nice.
And then my Jack of Hearts is one that I have got going that I haven't finished yet, and it is The Princess and the Grilled Cheese
Oh, yeah. I want to read that one so bad.
by Deya Muniz, and I will hopefully be able to finish it. And Jacks were queer representation, so that was.
Yeah.
And then the Ten of Hearts, I started it and I haven't finished it. It was Franny and Zooey by J.D. Salinger, and it was for the Pedro Pascal Your Perfectathon event that Crystal at Fiber Artsy and others co-hosted the
Right.
beginning of August. And so I started it then. That was actually the one that I was reading at the picnic when I got attacked by mosquitoes. So I
And you were
will,
reading that one during our sprint too.
I was reading it during our sprints. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time with it because it's it's so well written, but I think because of the way that it's written, I'm like taking my time like looking up. There's some phrases and some words that aren't like used nowadays. And so I'm going
Uh-huh.
back and I'm being more analytical with it. So, and I'm learning a lot from it. So it's a tiny little book, but it's giving me a lot to like chew
That's awesome.
on, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm
Hmm.
taking my time with this one. And then I have a Jack of Spades. So I think this is going to be a Jack of Spades, but I might, when I finish it, I'll know. Have you read The Last Night at the Telegraph Club or Last Night at the Club by Melinda Lowe?
I haven't.
Okay, so shout out to Angelia at the channel Read and Reread. I had talked about, I think earlier in the month I did a tag and I talked about kind of my pile of possibilities. And I mentioned that Last Night at the Telegraph Club was an unread book I had it as an ebook and I hadn't read it and maybe I would read it. And she mentioned in the comments that she voted for me to read it. And so I always like it when people like comment on my videos and they like give me feedback. And she was the only one
Right.
who voted, so she won.
That's
I
funny.
think I said, let me know what you think I should read. And she said, I vote for Last Night at the Telegraph Club. So I think it's a mystery. I mean, I'm still pretty like I, I'm I'm reading it on my Kindle. I'm about maybe 30%, 30 to
Hmm.
40% into the book. But I think it's gonna fit a Jack of Spades.
Awesome.
And then this one is really interesting. My Queen of Spades is a book called We Were Monsters. Make sure I'm getting that title right. It's either When We Were Monsters or We Were Monsters. I have it on Kindle. Mm, Okay, I'm not able to find it, but um I'll put it in the description box. So it is about demon hunting and it's based on Indian folk tale. Um
Demon hunting is a thing right now.
Yeah, yeah. So I had purchased it, I think, in the last year or two, and it's been there, and it always kind of called my attention, especially like when I was thinking about horror mayhem or like spooky reading.
Hmm.
but I just felt like it was calling me, and I just thought
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna read this. It's about demon hunting, and it is a folk, like Indian folk tale. And I was really intrigued, so I read it and I loved it.
Is this the one that you
No,
want
no,
to hype
we'll
up?
talk about that in a little bit.
You haven't got there yet.
So
Uh,
that's my poker hands for now. So
You did really well, actually,
I'm working on a
fitting a lot in.
flush, and then I have two spades possibly, but we'll figure that out.
Awesome. That's really good. Yay.
Yeah, yes. Let us know if you're watching what poker hand you ended up um doing, and I'm curious to see, how, like, did people do a high card, or did they actually get a flush, or a straight? So,
Yes, let us know for sure. Very curious.
okay. So now in this last segment of our chat, I had told Suey that we wanted to give like a Yoggist award to a book that we each love. So we'll give two Yoggist awards, and this is a book that we each read that we think is underhyped, maybe deserves more hype or deserves more attention, deserves to be read more widely. Um, and so we wanted to award it the Yoggist Award. I don't actually have a sticker for it yet, but maybe I'll make one. Um, so Stewie, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
So, are you talking about books we from what we read this
Yes.
month?
From what we
Yes.
read. Hmm.
So, I mean, probably my favorite one would just be the Tahereh Mafi one that I was hyping up a minute ago. But and do you feel like people are aware of this one? Like I don't hear anybody else talking about it. So does it need more hype?
I think it does. Yeah.
Like I read some pretty other all the other three were pretty obscure. So I'm still picking my like the most popular well-known author to hype up, but I don't know I don't see that I don't see very many other people talking about this series. So I guess this is the one I want to hype up and just say if you are into, fantasy and magic um and I mean it's romantasy. People love romantasy, okay? But it's just the YA level of romantasy, which is not to say that it's any how do I put this? I mean, there was a chapter in here where I was like, "Oh my gosh, people." So, if you're into that stuff, you would still like this, even though it has the YA label on it. It's still got it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a little more subtle in other parts, but not that one chapter. It was not subtle at all. Um, anyway, so yeah, it's romantasy and people love romantasy. And so this is my style of romantasy. That's all I want to say, I guess. It's just so good. And I just love her writing. So it's beautiful and rich and lush writing. And the descriptions and the characters, it's just everything. So, and I've hyped up the other two books before, so yeah. I guess that's my award. That's my Youngest award. Even though this was a hidden gem for sure. But anyway, those are the ones I loved. But that's the one I loved the most, I guess. How about you? Let me know.
Yay.
I'm dying to know what you're gonna hype up.
Okay. So the one that I like read and loved is this one.
Okay.
Breathe and Count Back from 10 by Natalia Sylvester. Have you read anything by Natalia Sylvester?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
I think this is her second YA. So she wrote two adult books and then she wrote Running, which I read and I really liked. And then I read this one. So this is her second YA. I went into it with just met expectations. Like I was just going into it because more than anything, because I wanted to read about I wanted my ace. I
Yeah.
wanted my ace card. And I
Uh-huh.
thought like this has the disability representation. The protagonist has hip dysplasia. It's been on my radar for a while. I really have enjoyed Natalia's work in the past. I really, really enjoyed her adult novels. And so I had heard great things about it, but I was kind of like, I don't, I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it. And I loved it. I was so blown away by this novel. And I felt like I think I underhyped it, and I think it's terribly underhyped, and I don't think enough people are reading this book particularly, but I think Natalia Sylvester could use more love as an author.
Uh-huh, for sure. Sounds
Um,
like.
so I could read the publisher summary, but you can do that too. I guess what I want to say about it is I already said that our protagonist is a daughter of immigrant parents, and she has hip dysplasia and she wants to be a mermaid. And if that's not enough for you to want to read it, I just want to say that it is such an authentic voice that it had me on edge. Like I could not put this down. Like I was wanting to know what was going to happen with Veronica, and is she going to get to be a mermaid? So she's dealing with the possibility of having to have to go through a surgery. She's she's swimming a lot, and that's when she swims is when she's feeling relief, and like she's feeling like she's more buoyant, and she's not really thinking about her disability when she's in the pool. But her parents are super overprotective, and they're immigrants. And so everything about their life is like through a microscope. Like they feel like they're under a microscope as immigrants. And I felt like the representation of immigrants was really authentic and well done. So if you're looking for a family story about immigrants, I think that this one is very good. The parents are from Peru, so they're immigrants from Peru, and I think that there's a little bit of autofic. I think Natalia is also from Peru, a Peruvian immigrant, and I think she's also had hip dysplasia. So part of this is from a very authentic standpoint. Um, One of my favorite, well, this is also a story about first love. So of course there's a male interest, and if you love romance, that's definitely in here. And if you liked Forever by Judy Blume, in which you see the female protagonist having those questions about, am I ready for intimacy? Um, how do I feel about my body and my, like, how do I know when I'm ready for intimate relationships? Like, all of that is in here. And I think my favorite part of this book, though, was the sibling relationship. Veronica has a sister,
Hmm.
and I felt like Natalia did such a great job at talking about what it's like to have a sibling. I'm also like the older sibling in my family group, and so I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like not a whole lot of YA books focus on a sibling relationship. Like a lot of it is like the first love or the parents and like the social structures, the schools, the friends, the bullies. But I think that there's a really great thread in this novel about siblings. And it reminded me of a time when I, as a teenager, treated my brother, my younger brother, like I was his mother. And if you're
Yeah,
an older sibling and you have younger siblings, like you can relate to that. Like all of a sudden you are projecting and you're um acting out like you're the mother and you're like taking care of your
right.
little sibling. And I think that there's a scene in here particularly where that was like it kind of was a gut punch to me because I felt for the little sister, and I saw myself like, and it kind of gave me that awareness of like, oh my God, I did that as a teenager. I really did that to my brother. I acted like his mom a lot of the time. And so um, I thought that was really like it actually made me reflect on my childhood, and it was so well written. It's such an amazing story. and it gives you a heroine to root for. Like she wants to be a mermaid, so you just want her to get her dream of being a mermaid.
Uh,
Um, and I loved it so much. I just want everybody to read this book.
that sounds really awesome. I'll keep my eye open. I will keep my eye open for that one for sure. We're gonna hopefully go to some bookstores on our trip that's coming up, and I will keep my eye open for that one. Maybe it will show up in the Texas bookstore. Anyway, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Well, I'm sorry I'm not going to get a chance to meet you on your Texas trail. I'm heading to Corpus this weekend for Labor Day
Hopefully your
weekend.
weather's okay there. Is it the
Yeah.
weather's scary?
I I don't know. I hope it's just a day trip, but it'll be a short trip, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think we're not, I don't know that I'm going to be in the same area you are in, but
I think
I
you're heading
will.
to San Antonio, you said?
Yeah, San Antonio slash Austin area. So that's a little bit north of where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe I'll find that one there somewhere. And if I can drag the people I'm with to bookstores with me.
Well, thank you
Anyway, that sounds
again.
fun.
I had so much fun reading young adults literature.
As if we're going to stop and not read it in the rest of the year, right?
Oh no, like we haven't even
That,
talked about the books. Like, okay, like can you share a couple of books that you wish you would have gotten to that you didn't get to that maybe you're going to be
well,
reading?
the ones that were on my pile of possibility were The Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor and the third book in the Ember and the Ashes series. I just really want to get those read. And I know I'm not sure Darker Shades of Magic is considered young adult. But anyway, that the third book in that one I have to read. And then I had a few other little contemporary rom-com-y looking books. I have no idea what they really were. So like I probably would have been surprised at them, but there's so many. And I think I have one on my Kindle right now that I accepted I don't know if it's considered an ARC, but I don't usually accept it from those from authors anymore. But somebody emailed me and said, "Here's my book," and I was like, "That sounds perfect." So I've so I downloaded it, and it's a just like a fall rom-com. So anyway, I have so many that I still want to get to, like soon, like hopefully not, another year goes by, which will probably happen. Anyway, yeah, we'll keep reading YA all through the whole year, not just in August, right?
Right. So a couple that I didn't get to, I'm looking here at what is. Okay, so Sui, I'm gonna just tell you I was planning to do a book haul video, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But I mentioned that I bought a book that you recommended, and I had hoped that this I was gonna get to it, and this would have been a 10. Probably would have been a
Uh,
10 parts.
uh-huh.
Because I bought it on your recommendation
On my oh.
because you did an amazing video on Casey West, right? That's her name.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah,
Did you get
Casey
it?
West.
You bought a case. Oh, you bought.
I
Did you
bought a
tell me
Casey
already?
West book. No, I haven't told you. I was gonna show
I,
you in the book
I was
haul.
I was like, I can't remember if you've told me now. Okay, which one is it? Borrow My Heart.
Oh my
Yay.
heart.
So fun.
Yeah, so I really wanted to get to it. I obviously didn't, but I'm really looking forward to it. I really
I
want
hope
to.
you like it. Watch you read it, and you'll be like, what is she talking about?
No, it sounds beautiful. It's the little like quote here on the front says you can't buy love, but you can rescue it. And
Yeah.
these are like animal lovers and there's a lot of dogs and cats on the cover and I just feel like I'm gonna love it. So,
Yeah. I hopefully you will. They're just so cute. They're just fun premises. All of her books, fun little premises and tropes. I'm a fan of tropes and just great characters. So yeah, hopefully you'll love it. That'll be fun. See what you think. Yeah.
okay. Well, I guess this is it, right? That's all we wanted
I
to
think that's all. I think we covered everything, didn't we?
yeah.
We
So
did.
thank you, Sui, for doing this UGUST event with me. And thank you to our friends.
Yes. Thank you to everyone, and thanks for having me do it with you. It's been so fun.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's over.
Almost 5 days.
Yeah, 5 more days. Probably by the time you put this up, it will be pretty much over, right?
Yeah, by the time this gets posted, it'll pretty much be over. But
Time flies.
yeah, we'll continue to talk about young adult literature on our channels and until next year and
That's what I was just going to say.
this
Plan
again.
on it next year. Come read YA with us.
And let us know what you thought about our tag. A few people did the tag and we enjoyed watching it. If you didn't get to it, let us know in the
If you didn't,
comments.
if
Like,
you didn't get to it, you can do it whenever. It doesn't have to be this month. So still do it sometime. If you plan on doing it, don't worry that it's not August. Still do it.
yeah.
We're looking for him.
Or if you just want to let us know, like, if a particular prompt is something that you like,
You just want to answer one or two. Yeah,
yeah, like let us know. I'm so curious to see like how the conversation will continue, over
exactly.
time and in so many
Same.
different ways.
My thoughts exactly. So yeah, let's keep it up.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching.
Bye.